today's Python programming language class from beginners to advanced. And your host here, your lecturer here, has been Mr. Simeon, and we have been taking this class for about this is the seventh lesson, I guess. This is a live 07 class, and we've done a lot in these classes, especially when it comes to condition statements, and also we've been doing that up to what we are going to be solving today. We're going to be solving either one or two questions in if statements, and from there we are going to move on. This was the last assignment I gave to you guys to work on. I'm going to be solving this, and I'm going to be doing a quiz app for you guys, a quiz app that you guys will populate. You'll populate and do more with the quiz app. But for now, this is what we are going to be solving, and this is still under if condition statement. This is still under if condition statement. And what does the question says? The question says, write a Python program that calculates the average. We can also put percentage. We can also make it percentage. I know everybody should know the formula for percentage, so we could check the percentage over. I could make it 10 subjects, so we could work with 100 in 10 places. But let's work with average, because in schools, average are used to give students scores. Average of a student results of about 5 subjects and determine the grade of the student. Remember to collect the student name. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be collecting the student's name first, which is going to be the solution. Let me do hash solution. Now we go collect the student's name. Please hold on for me. So this is going to be the solution, as we're going to be collecting the student's name, and it's going to be reflecting in the output by starting by saying student name equals to input, because this is a string we are collecting here. No need to int it. We're not dealing with numbers. So we go, what is your name? You could say enter your candidate's name. You understand? Enter your candidate's name or anything like that. So I'm going to be doing a \n, and I'm going to repeat this by collecting 2, 3, 4, 5 subjects. So I'm going to comment this, please, and I would say these are subject collection section. So this helps you to know what you are doing in your work. So according to me, it's 5 subjects, not course 1, course 2. Nobody actually takes course 1, course 2. We take subjects such as English. We take other subjects such as maths. We take subjects such as physics, chemistry, and we could do biology. Sorry for non-science students, but we are going to be working on the science. I'm more familiar with science courses. So I would say, what is your score? What is your score in English? Try to build softwares that are user interface friendly. Try to build softwares that are customers friendly, that when they use it, it can interact with them. That is how AI started. What is your score in English? What is your score in mathematics? What is your score in physics? What is your score in chemistry? And what is your score in biology. Now we have done that, and the next thing they are asking us to do is to calculate the average of the student. How can we calculate the average if we don't have a total score? So I will say to calculate the average score. What do we need to do? All these things helps you and guide you in knowing what to do per section. So I'm going to be doing that. Okay, let's do that. To calculate the average score, we have subject total. I have subject total, which is going to be equals to the addition of all the O22 subjects, such as English plus maths plus physics plus chemistry plus biology. This is it. And to have the average of all subjects, we have, I can say subject average is equals to subject total divided by 5 number of subjects. I can teach you something also. I'm sorry that I'm bringing these things in when we're already doing projects. There's a way you can count how many subjects this person did by saying length of subject. There's something called length. Maybe I'm going to be taking a course, like a day, to be taking what we call Python string functions. We're going to be doing a lot of things. We're going to be doing type. We're going to be doing length. We're going to be doing push. We're going to be doing pop. You know what all those things in. We're going to be cutting things from what we're going to be doing append. We're going to be doing slicing. All those things with Python. But they are very easy. We're going to be doing count. Like I can tell you to write a Python program that counts the number of words in a file or the number of words in a line. Like, everybody watch this. If I do this now, if I do something like this, like I can say sentence equals to, I can say the Lord is good all the time. I can tell Python to count this statement. I can tell Python to count it. So it can tell me the length of the statement. It can tell me anything. I can just say statement length. I can say equals to length of, I can say length of sentence. Do you know why I'm doing this? The reason why I'm doing this is to be able to tell you that some people might do a course beyond all these 5. It might be 10 courses, 15 courses. Automatically, Python will know how many courses the student took and divide it by the subject total. That's the reason why I'm showing you this. When somebody enters, get a variable and say the Lord is good all the time, we don't know the number of words that are there or the length, but when you come to statement length and say length of the sentence and print statement length, Python tells you so far so good how many words are there in that. You can use count, you can use count, you can use, everybody, can you see that? 30. Can you see 30? What Python is telling you here is that Python is telling you if you count 1, 2, 3, 4 with the space, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 with space. Every letter here is 30 letters. And how did I know? I use the word called length function. Just like we use input function, there's something called length of sentence, length of word. I can call it ebuka. I can call it ebuka. Python will tell me the length of ebuka, and if I run this one, it will tell me ebuka is 5 letters. Ebuka is 5 letters. So we can also have a length of the number of subjects the children or the child per se might attempt. So we have split. I can split this word. I can say sentence. Please hope you are learning new things. It's just coming in. Dot split function. Yeah, the split function. What did I mean by splitting? Cut this into words. Word, 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 word. Now count it for me. And I now ask for this length. I will now say statement amount. STMT amount. You must save it inside a variable. The statement amount now can be equal to length of statement length. Length of statement length. If you print statement amount now, it will tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 words. 7 words in what we have here. That is it. 7 words. I hope I'm not too fast. You understand what I explained here. I hope you understand what I'm trying to bring out here. I just remembered you can do that. That's why I brought it in. What I'm only saying in this essence is that it's very possible. It's very, very possible that instead of us coming to divide this thing by 5, we can just say subject amount. And Python will pick the number of subjects that we have here, and it will drop it here automatically. So the more the child keep adding more subjects, the more the subject amount keep increasing. Do you understand that, guys? Do you understand that? I need a response. Now, everybody believes that this subject is 5. But what about if we eventually add one more subject, or one more, making it 8 subjects in total, 3 more added, and we still have 5 here? We already know what is going to happen. We are not making justice to all these subjects. Now, immediately the way we are adding one more here, one more, Python is supposed to grab the number of subjects here and automatically begin to increase this one by saying 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Depending on the number of subjects as it's increasing, Python increases it. As it decreases, Python decreases the number of subjects also. But for this level, we are going to be using this 5. We are going to be using 5 for now, and that 5 is how we've calculated the average score. Now, what is the next thing it asks us to do? It says student result of about 5 subjects and determine the grade. Now we have to determine the grade. So grade determination now. Henceforth, this is how you guys should be writing program for me. Each section should be first commented. Comment the first topic, like is what you want to write, the program you want to write below. Comment it first at the top. This is grade determination. To determine the grade, we're going to be using if statement, saying if, coming to this place, saying anything from 0 to 39 is failed. So I'm going to be saying less than, equal to, or less than or equals to 39. Then when you do this, wait, my symbol is not correct. I think, is it equals to or less than? it's giving me a sign here. Let me check quick fix. No quick fixes. Okay, let me run this. If it's less than 0 or 99, let me print something. Print, it's working. It's working. Let's see. Is it equals to or less than or equals to? I think it should be less than or equals to. Let's see how this would work. Okay, yeah. If less than or equals to, is giving me an error here, so it's definitely it's equals to or less than. Let's try this. Equals to or less than, still having error. If, oh sorry, I'm not testing anything. I should have picked this variable. Yeah, yes, this is a complete statement. Now if subject average is less than or equals to 39, print it's working. Let's see if it will run now. Okay, I'm changing it to not equals to or less than, it's less than or equals to. I'm sure this should work. This should work. Yes, it's working. It's working now. So it is less than or equals to. This arrow used to confuse me. Like we have equals to or greater than. No, it is greater than or equals to. Yes, it is greater than or equals to. Now, anything subject average less than 39, which simply means from 39 to 38 to 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29 down to 0. Anything from 39 whatsoever to 0 should be printed what? Should be printed as fail. So it should be function formatted output hi, call the name of the person, hi student name, your total average is, call your total average, which outputs to be subject average. The total average is subject average, and your grade is, then you can now put the person's grade here as fail. Yes, as fail. Then I'm going to be repeating this, but let's go. Now what is the next statement? 40 to 49, then we're going to be working on 49 lesser than up to 39. So we're going to be saying else if subject average is lesser than or equals to, subject average is lesser than or equals to, what is the next one? Let me bring it down. Let me bring everything down to be faster. Okay, we've done this. Then the next one is pass. Then 49. Then we should print this. So you don't have to repeat yourself. Just come and drop this here and change it. Say hi, student name, your total average is subject average and your grade is pass. Mr. Buka, I hope you can see this. Your grade is pass. Then we can repeat our elif. How many times? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's start. The first one is 55. That should be 55 here. And what is the credit? Student name, your total average is this, and you is credit. Yes, credit. Your grade is credit. Now we are done with credit. Now 70 is after 55. Okay, and then what is 70? 70 is good. Then we have 89. Anything lesser than 89 to 71. Then I'm going to be having 89 here. And the grade is excellent. And subject average is lesser than or equals to 100. This is the highest limit. Student name, your total average is subject average, and your grade is, we now have distinction. Then you are done with the program. You can say else. You print there is something wrong with your result. Please contact please hold on for me. So you're going to be printing, there is something wrong with your results. Please contact the admin or the subject admin or anything you want to say. Then you should know that else is always out of the loop. It's always out of everything we want to say or we want to do or what we even require. Else is just trying to tell the person, is like your result is not normal. It's like your result is this and that. There's a problem with your results. Contact the admin. But this if and else are always testing the true statements. So we're going to be running this program now, and we're going to be having, let me break out of this loop, Control C to break out of loop, clear the screen, then have conditions.py. Then you ask what is your name, and I can say Benga Daniels. Enter. What is your score in English? 59. What is your score in mathematics? 78. What is your score in physics? 99. What is your score in chemistry? You can say 56. And what is your biology? We can say 92. Then we have an error here. Okay, subject average equals to subject total divided by 5. And it's telling us here that in this subject average equals to subject total divided by 5, subject total unsupported operand types for slash for a string and an integer. Then let's look at it. Then it's telling us that this thing is seeing this place as a string while seeing this place as an integer. Oh, my input was a string all through. I didn't typecast it. I didn't use int input. Hence the error. So everything that it brought out was nothing but strictly a string. So it was not bringing a figure out, and nobody called me back to tell me, sir, you did int your input. Well, nobody's above mistake. The main thing about writing a program is ability to understand what you want to write and ability to find your errors and debug them. Then your program works. Then that is the joy of a programmer. Not really writing 1,500 lines without having a single problem and you'll be saying, oh, you're a programmer. No, it's about you knowing how to solve the problem and tweak your program for it to run. So we're going to be clearing this and we're going to run it again. So we're going to say, what is your name? We're going to be saying Benga Daniels. So we're going to be saying, what is your score in English? 45. What is your score in mathematics? 90. What is your score in physics? Maybe 77. Your score in chemistry? 82. Then what is your biology score? I know biology little, then and I should be maybe around 92. Then we can have this. Hi Daniel, so your total average is 77.2. Your grade is excellent. Now let's check if this excellent correspond with anything lesser than or higher than 77. Excellent. Let's watch it. 77 should fall under the range of 77. Excellent. Fall under the range of 80, between 71 and 89. 71 and 89, then it should be excellent. Then this program is 100% correct. This program is 100% correct. It asks for all the whole 5 courses and it performed the average and it dropped the average and the person's name inside the program and it gave out the accurate grade. So that is how to solve that one. I would like to take one more class, but instead of me wasting too much time on that class or that example rather, I would like to move into what today's topic is all about. Enough of if condition statement. I just want you guys to understand that if statement very well. So let's continue and try another kind of statement today. Part of condition statement also, but this one is a little bit advanced than if statement. Is a little bit advanced than it. So this time we're going to be working on something called the while loop. So what is a while loop? While I await this is a conditional statement. Apart from Python, a Python will take in either a true or false a statement or response, and then from there it gives you out your output according to if it's true or if it is false, and after running that it breaks either true or false. It breaks. But what does a while do? A while will continue to repeatedly ask you that question until that question is true. So while simply means repeat until. That was what while actually means. It means repeat until. I'm coming. So right now you're going to be working on a particular command called the while loop. So Python has two primitive loops. We have the while loop and we have the for loop. Now we call it loop because it keeps repeating itself. It keeps executing something until the statement is met or the condition is met or the condition is true. Else that condition is not true, it will continue repeating it. Now let's quickly do a very simple practice. Let's quickly do a very simple practice. I'm going to call this while.py or while loop.py. Now, let's watch something I want to do. Okay, I'm going to do something like this. Let me test this program before I explain it. That's the reason why I'm testing first. Okay, this is called while loop, right? Okay, we are having an issue here. Okay, yeah, there's something I missed here. Colon here. Not equals to. Okay. I don't know why I keep throwing this thing away. Okay, let me run this first before I explain what I just typed here. I'm going to be doing Python while loop dot py. Okay, yeah. Name. It says name is not defined. Okay, I'm going to be doing this. Let me do this. I'm going to be doing I think this is it. Yeah, it's working now. I get it now. This is exactly what I want to explain. Now, this is a while loop statement. If it was if we run this program just once and it will stop. But that is not where I want to come right now. I just want to test this one out before I explain it. That's why I said the ability and the happiness of you writing a program is not you just saying I can write a program and it's working. No, it's ability for you to write it and it has error, then you can correct the error and say this is what is supposed to be there. Now let me explain while statement to you in full. You see, the while loop in Python repeatedly executes a block of code as long as it specifies a condition to be true. It will continue to execute that condition, that code. It will continue to be saying that this thing must be true before you can say, okay, now let's move to the next thing, or you now say, oh, you've got it, or something like that. So this loop is particularly useful when the number of iterations is not known. Like you don't know the number of times it's going to repeat it. You don't know the number of times it's going to go, maybe 12 or 3 times or 6 times. While loop is good to say infinitely repeat this thing until the condition is true. So we can also call it repeat until. So while loop can also be called repeat until, because it's going to repeat it until a condition is met or a condition is true. Now let's continue. So the loop is this loop is particularly useful when the number of iteration is not actually known beforehand. You can't guess, maybe this is the number of times you want to iterate. You understand? So you need to be evaluated at each iteration. It needs, all time this loop runs, it needs to check if the condition is true. It needs to check if the condition is true. It needs to check if the condition is true. So the basic syntax for a while loop is very, very simple. It's nothing but just saying while condition semicolon, then your block of code comes here. Your block of code comes in here. That's all what I did here right now. That's all what I did here. Now let me explain what I did up here. What I say right now is that I create a variable which happens to be empty. And I came back to give it a condition by saying while this instruction name, which is the variable I created, as far as it is not equals to Simeon, keep asking this question. This is the meaning. Let me write it again. let me write it again. I hope we are still together. Thank you. Now let me write it again. I'm going to clear this and I'm going to write it. So we're going to be creating, like I told you, we don't know the number of time that we are going to be asking for this thing. So I'm going to be creating, hold on please. So this is a basic example of a good while loop program, which I'm going to be starting by saying hash sample of a basic while loop program. Now watch this. I'm creating a variable called instructor's name. Instructor name, and I say the instructor name is not known. That's the meaning. An empty string, not known. Instructor is not known. Now I now came back and say, while that instructor's name, as far as it is not equals to Simeon, as far as it is not equals to Simeon, that means it is the person is entering Ebuka, Daniel, Debbie, Tunde, Tope. It will continue to ask this question. Run this block of code. Okay, let me put then. Continue asking this question. Instructor's name equals to input what is the name of the instructor. It will keep asking this. It will always keep asking until what? It will repeat until what? Until the condition is true that the person enters what? Simeon. Then the program can now run. And if it now runs, it will now say, it will now print, at last, welcome Simeon. Yeah, it will now print at last. Welcome. That is if this one is met. If this one is met, rather, if the name is equal to Simeon, then this one will now print. That is what it means. So let me cut out of this and clear the screen. What is the instructor name? I'm going to be giving Ebuka. It will not run. It will ask it again. Okay. It's supposed to be Simeon. Why is it picking? Why is it picking Ebuka? I'm coming. Let me comment this one out. Let's see. Why is it picking Ebuka? Control C. Oh, okay. Let's see. What is the instructor's name? Ebuka. You see, he keeps asking again. What is the instructor's name? As far as confirming that is not equals to Simeon, it will keep asking. What is the instructor's name? Daniel. You see? What is the name of the instructor again? A guy. Put the name of the instructor, Debbie. You see? It will know, it will, okay, even Mr. Simeon self, even Mr. Simeon is still asking. But by the time I put Simeon, even a small letter, let's try Simeon in small letter, maybe it will consider us. It's still asking. But immediately we put S-I-M-E-O-N in capital S and press enter, the program runs. Do you see that? The program runs. That's what we call sample of a basic while loop statement in we have already entered advanced like that though. We're already doing advanced Python though. We've skipped out of basic. You understand? We're already entering intermediate now. That was why I was asking that 1 month for basic, 1 month for intermediate, and 1 month for advanced. That's what I was trying to get. So this is us asking, this is a basic program. I'm going to be commenting this out, and I'm going to be moving into the next thing. I'm going to be moving into a next thing. Like, for example, we can have a while statement to calculate a block line of code. For example, we can say, like, I want to write a while statement that can count a number from 1 to 10 or 1 to 100 using while statement. It's very easy for us to do. All you just need to do is to create a variable name by saying count equals to 1. Count equals to what? 1. Now say while count is less than or equals to, where should we count to? Is it to 100? Is it to 50? Is it to what? You see, what count is less than or equals to 50, then print count. It will print count. Then you have to increment that count. You have to increment it by saying count equals to count plus 1. That is incrementing that count. You are incrementing it. Have you seen that? Should I explain this code again? Now, okay. Now, we want to write a Python program using a while statement that's going to execute, continue to execute until a condition is met or while the condition is true. Now, everybody knows that it is true that 1 is lesser than 50. Is that not right? Is that not true? Now, as far as, thank you. As far as it confirms that 1 is lesser than 50, it prints 1. That's the meaning. Count, which is 1 here. Now look at this. 1. I think this is what it means, right? If we are correct, this is what it means, right? While 1 is lesser than or equals to 50. So as far as it is not equals to 50, it will continue to print what? That count. But to not only print 111, what will it do? It will come back to this count and add plus 1. Add plus 1 until it is equals to 50, then it will now stop printing. That's what it means. So I'm going back to add count to this place and now run the program and say control tick CLS, and I'm going to be doing while loop. Do you see what happened? It printed 1, 2. It keep adding until it equals to what? Thank you. Why did it stop? It repeated this same statement until it was true that this count is no longer 1. It is now what? 50. Thank you. Let's cancel it and write 1 to 100. Control / yeah, let's write 1 to 100. Let's do it together. Let us do it together. Let's use Ebuka now. Let's do that. Ebuka equals to what? 1, right? Ebuka equals to 1. So give the while statement. While Ebuka is less or equals to 100, which is true. Ebuka is lesser, not even equals to 100. What should happen? We should print Ebuka. I know the while statement is always somehow at first. Print Ebuka. After Ebuka is being printed, what should be done? Increment that Ebuka So we can say Ebuka equals to Ebuka, which is 1 plus 1. That is 2 plus 1, 3 plus 1, 4. So it keeps adding up itself with 1 and adding it into the same Ebuka and keep plusing it with 1 until it's up to 100. That is what it means. So if I clear off this screen and I run this again, that's it. It keeps running till we get to 100. That's it. From 1, which was Ebuka initially, it keeps adding 1 to 100. So I'm going to be giving a classwork right now, and it's just similar, an inverse version of this. Now, I don't mind. I'll keep this on my screen so it can guide you. This is going to be the Python class task. I'm going to say write a Python while statement to count down a number from 100 to 1. I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if you can attempt this. So this is the solution to it. You've made a good attempt, and that is good. There's nothing bad about it. It's just the same way this one is. Now notice this one, Ebuka here. Don't let me use Ebuka this time. Let me go and use a nice word that is welcomed in Python. Now notice that this count was 1 here, and it's counting from 1 to 50. Now we want to count from what? From 100 to 1. Then definitely you invert this to 100. Then this one becomes 1. If you are going up, this one becomes the lesser and this one becomes the highest. If you are going down, this one becomes the highest, this one becomes the lowest. So it goes like this by saying count equals to 100. That is it. And you come back and say while, let me analyze it. While count is lesser than or equals to 50, at this time it's not going to be while count is greater than or equals to what? Well, what is our last place? 1. Then see, I don't know why when I started all this. While count is greater than or equals to 1, which is true. Do you know that, Ebuka? Count here is 100, is greater and is not even equals to 1. So it is true that is greater than 1. Then the next thing you do is to print count. And what should you do? Decrease count. You are decreasing from 100 to 99 to 98. Decrease the count. And it turns to count equals to count minus 1. That's all. This becomes minus. This becomes 100. This becomes 1. Then this remains constant. If I run this now, you'll see what we'll be having. Let me take this answer into the right place. I don't know. Please, did you get this concept? Did you get it? Can you see what is happening? You've gotten yours. You've gotten yours now. Run it. Let me see. Let me know if it works or not. So it's counting down now actually from 100 to 99, from 99 to 98, 98 down, because it keeps subtracting from 100 till it gets to 1. And once it gets to 1, because we say it equals to 1, then definitely it will stop at 1 because the condition is met. And until it is met, it will keep running. So the condition is met and it will stop running. That is what is going to happen. Did you get this? Did you? Yeah, yeah, that's good. Now we're going to be making something. We're going to be making something called. Let me see if it's part of my presentation. Let me see if it's part of my presentation. Okay, look at this, Ebuka. They said in this while loop, with the while loop, we can execute a set of statements as long as the condition is true. Example, print I as long as I is less than 6. I equals to 1. While I is less than 6, print I. Then I plus equals 1. Now, what does that mean? It means instead of us writing, watch this place very well. A lot of people used to get it confused. Instead of us writing count equals to count plus 1, you can also write count equals to this, count plus equals plus 1. I don't know if you understand what it means. Plus equals 1. Now, when we say you want to do an increment by saying count equals to 1, then you want to increase the count, what will you do? You say count equals to count plus 1. That means you are literally saying 1 plus 1. Is that not true? Is that not true? Now, immediately this one becomes 1 plus 1. What happens to this? It becomes what? Do you understand? Do you understand? Now, it's the same thing. When you do count 1 plus 1, it's the same thing as count plus equals 1. It's the same thing. It's a programming language term that means the same thing as this. Instead of tautology, count equals to count plus 1 is tautology. It's just a count plus equals 1. That's all. Then it does the same thing. You can let us put it to test if you doubt it. You can let us, all programming languages uses this sign. It means take this same count, add 1 to it. Take this same count, minus 1 from it. Minus equals 1. That's it. Plus equals 1. That is it. Minus equals 1, plus equals 1. Do you understand it now? Thank you. It means the same thing. Don't get distracted. I just purposely did that for you to understand it before I now continue with that thing. With you knowing this, because you can never see any programming handouts out there that will write I equals to I plus 1. No, you see I plus equals 1. So just Mr. Simon already told you that it's same thing as I equals to I plus 1. Okay, so let's do this. I don't know. I don't need to come over this one again, right? I don't need to come over it again, right? Or should I go over it again? Thank you. Thank you. So you can write an increment, you can write a decrement, and you can repeat a question until it is true, right? You can write a program that can keep repeating enter, enter, enter until it is true. I'm happy about that. So I'm going to be commenting this out. I'm going to be doing some tasks in it. I'm going to be commenting this task. And do you know you can add a while statement with an if statement? Do you know about that? Do you know you can add a while statement with an if statement? Don't worry, we're going to be doing that. Yes, we can do it. We can add a while statement to an if statement. I'm going to be bringing more samples to you in the next class. But for now, we're going to be working with strictly while, because you must understand if very well. Then later you must understand while statement also very well. So let me reduce this and bring out this handout, and let's know you understand this. print I as long as I is less than 6. I equals to 1. While I is less or equals to 6, print I increment 1. Now let's look at this. We're going to be talking about break. I'm going to be talking about continue. What does break and continue means? What does break and continue? Break simply means that when you have a particular condition is met, you don't need to run to the end. Once that condition is met, break the execution. That is what it means. Do you understand? Stop the execution. Now that is why it reads, with the break statement, we can stop the loop while if the while condition is true. Now look at this. Look at this. But let me pick from this first. Let me pick from this. Let's run this, and I can edit it to my taste, and I can write my own also. I don't know. Maybe I should write mine first. Yeah, while loop. Okay, my while loop. I equals to 1. I equals to 1 while I is less than 6, print I if I. You see what I was telling you, that you can add an if statement. You can add it. Can you see that after a while there is an if, then it goes with a break, then ends all these things we are talking about. But let me write my own first so I can explain this later. Now let's write a Python program that it will loop until a condition is met. So while loop with break, the break statement is used to exit a loop. When you say, now this is exactly what it means. When you say write 2 times table, but as far as the answer is 24, break, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to say 2 times 1 2, 2 times 2 4, 2 times 3 6, 2 times 4 8, 2 times 5 10, 2 times 6 12, 2 times 7 14, 2 times 8 16, 2 times 9 18, 2 times 10 20, 2 times 10 28, 2 times 11 22, 2 times 12 24. It will not continue again. Once you've already said as far as the answer is 24, break, it will not loop it again. It will stop at 24. Even though you tell it it should be 2 times 1000 table. But once it gets to 24, it will definitely do what? Break. Do you understand it now? Do you understand it now? Yeah. So we're going to write a particular condition just like the one above here, and we're going to make it break at a particular number. Now, what should we write? We should write 1 to what? Give me a value. While number is what? Lesser than or equals to. Give me a value. Give me a value. A high 60. Thank you so much. 60. Then after we do that, you can say you should print it, right? You can decide to print it. You can decide to put your if statement there. So we are going to be writing a break now. I told you to write a break function. How many lines do you make use of? 2. The if statement are what? And the break word. You say if number that we are counting equals to, where should we break at? Where should the program stop? Where should the program stop? No, not the line. Tell me the number where the program should break. When it's counting from 60. No. You've not gotten the concept of break. Break will intrude a loop before it gets to the final destination. Before you count from 1 to 60, you are passing a break to say when you get to 30, stop. Even when you've not gotten to 60, it will stop at 30. That's what it means. So when you say I should count to 1 to 60, tell me which number you want this program to break, then I'll write the number here. You said 45. Then 45. Then let's say then you now put your break statement here. That is it. If the number is counting +1, +1, 1, 2, 3. Once you reach 45, he told the program to do what? To break. So we're going to be outputting it by saying print number. Print number. And don't forget, it will not loop until you do what? Until you do what? Until you increment it. Don't forget. And how do you increment? Can you tell me how you increment? Plus equals 1. Number plus equals 1. So when you run this now, where did it stop? Where did it stop? Thank you. That is it. You've told it to break. You've told it to break. See? It said if number equals to 45 and it has been counting from 1 already, once you reach 44, it will stop. Let me see. You can use less than. Oh, I don't know if you understand this already. This is the statement for the break statement. Okay? Now let me give you a real life example. In your class that you graduated from, I can call it maybe I can call it a platinum class. In platinum class, we have over 30 students, such as Dixon, we have Temzi, we have Tiwa. I want to explain the concept of break to you. We have Tayo, we have Debbie, we have Ebuka, we have Ebuka. So we have Ebuka here. Then we have Simeon. Then we have Junior. Then we have names like that. Now, having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 names, and you are looking for the file of Ebuka, how are you going to write the program? You will tell it to iterate through all these names. But when it gets to Ebuka, if the name of the file equals to what? If equals to what? Please, I need you to respond. If the name of the file equals to, what should it do? What should it do? Break. That's it. So the program will iterate through all these names. Once it gets here, it will stop. These two will be left untouched because it has gotten to the if condition that if it is equals to Ebuka, stop. That's the meaning. And this one will be left out. It will not run. So that is the same thing as this situation. It means if number is 1 and our destination is 60, once we are looking for 45, once we get to 45, if our number has added itself up to 45, then it should stop. Then it should print the numbers we've seen and it should increment it by 1. If there's no increment, it will not work. That's what it means. If there's no increment, it will not work because it's a while statement. It means keep looping, keep adding 1, keep adding 1, keep adding 1. That is what it means. Now, Ebuka, if you want to write up to from 2 to 100, and you don't want it to be plus 1, you want it to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 20, 25, like that, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You are going to iterate it by what? By what? 2 steps. Thank you. You got it. You got it. You are going to iterate it by 2 steps. That is all you just need to do. All you just need to do is just to iterate it by 2 steps. You don't need to stress yourself. Exactly. Starting from what? 2. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 11, 16, 18, up to 100. Yes. Okay. Once the condition is not true, like I told you, it will repeat until the condition is true. When the condition is not true, it jumps over it since it does not see that number, and it gets to 100 and stop. It's just the same thing as looking for it's just the same thing as looking for file of Daniel when we don't have Daniel here. Please, I want to ask you a question. In platinum class, are you hearing me? In platinum class, we are looking for Daniel's folder. Now, if I get to Daniel, tell me to stop. Are you ready? Dixon, Temzi, Tiwa, Tayo, Debbie, Ebuka, Simeon, Junior. Did you tell me to stop? That is the same thing Python compiler. That is the same thing Python compiler. As far as your condition is not met, it will execute to the last line. Don't let me remove this one again. Now let's do something. Okay, that is what you're even saying. You should increment by 2, right? Starting by 2, right? I think that's what you said. Now, odd number, we are testing out an odd number if it's going to meet it. Now, let's do that. Where did it stop? Where did it stop? Thank you. Because of what? Because the break condition was not met. We didn't see 44, we see 46, we didn't see 45. So it continued to the end. You keep going till it's the end. It's just the same way. Then if you want to write an inverse of this, to search for 45 when it's counting from 60 down, all you just need to do is to number equals to 60. That is the destination. Then you say while number is greater than or equals to 1 or 2, right? 2, because we are looking for 2, right? Equals to 2. If number is equals to 46, I want it to stop actually, then break. If number is equals to 46, break. Now what should we do now? We print and do what? We increment. Is that not true? You print what? You print number. Hey, look at me. You print number and you increment. How do we increment, please? I need you, have forgotten. Tell me now. We decrease. We decrease. We are coming from 60 to 2. Thank you. Minus equals to what? We've forgotten. That is the number of increments now. This is the number of steps. This is the number of steps. You understand? When it gets to 46, it will stop because 46 is an even number. When it gets to 46, it stops. Wow. Is there no 46? There's 46. So why didn't it stop? What is our problem? What was our problem? There was 46 there. Why number equal? Oh, because we still add this one available. Oh, sorry. So it's supposed to be only this one. 60 greater than or equals to 2. Yes, 60 is actually greater than 2. Then if number is equals to 46, it should break. Print the number, then reduce it. Let's try that. Perfect. Perfect. It didn't get to 46, it stopped. It worked. Did you see that? It worked. So that is how we work on increment or decrement of while loop. Increment or decrement of while loop. You understand? You understand? I know you've been able to understand it from this place. I'm writing a simple code. Then we did our first increment. Then we did our second increment. Then we did our decrement. Then we did our break. We did our break. I know you understand breaking in increment and you understand break in decrement, right? Yeah. Now I want to say something. Apart from having increment or break, do you know we have something again called continue? Continue. What do you think continue can do? Okay. Are you sure? You think it's a loop? You think it's like looping non-stop, right? Okay, actually that is not the case. Now let me show you something what continue means. Continue is actually, let me use a very funny Nigerian illustration. It means when you see that thing and it is true, jump it and pass. Don't stop at it. I don't know if you understand it. It means jump it and pass. Don't stop at it. Did you get that? So instead of breaking at that condition, it will jump it and pass. It will continue. Every time it sees it, it will continue. So we're going to do number. You see that we are already entering into intermediate now. You see that it's tasking your brain. Can you see that? Can you see that? Yes, it's tasking your brain. So number equals to what? 0. So I want to say while number is less than or equals to 10, then I will now say increase my number plus 1, increment my number plus equals 1. Now I want to give it a continue condition. Do you know what I want to do in my continue condition? I only want odd numbers to be printed. I don't want even numbers to be printed between 0 to 10. So what is the if statement for even number? If number, I know you know it, please don't tell me you don't know it. If number is modulo what? Modulo 2 equals to 0. Is that not it? Is that not it? Thank you. If the number is divisible by 2 and it has no remainder, what should happen? It should skip it. It should continue. It should continue. Yes, and it should do what? Print the other numbers that are not even numbers. Print numbers. That's what it means. Before I run this program, I want you to study it very well. Study the program very well. Yeah, I'll be highlighting each part. I want you to be explaining it to me. What is this? What is it going to do? You are initializing your starting point. Say it after me. You are initializing your starting point. Okay. Now, here, what are you doing here? You are testing that your starting point is actually lesser than 10, which is true. You are actually testing what? Repeat after me. That your starting point is lesser than 10, which is true. Now, as far as it is true, then it goes to the next line. We increment what? Our starting point. We are going from 0 to 10, right? So we increment. Thank you. We are going from lower to higher, we increment. Now, we are not checking if any of these numbers from 1 to 10 is divisible by 2 and is an even number. You should do what? Skip it. Do you get that? You should do what? Skip it. Then after skipping, you should print all other remaining numbers. You should print all other remaining numbers. If you need all this my while loop to study more, I would like to share it with you with a full art. So can you see? Did you get what happened here? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Odd numbers. Is because he added 1. He added 1. It added 1 because it is 1 plus 10. That is 11. Yes, it is 1 plus 10 is 11. So it added 1. So if you want to make it stop at 10, you can just make it what here? Make it 9. Make it 9 here. So you understand more. I don't want to enter. I don't want to. It will not even show 10. Yeah, thank you. I don't want to explain that until you get to list. Can you see? 10 is an even number, so it will not show. Yes, all even numbers will be skipped. So let me see what task I can give you. Can you give me all? You should skip all odd numbers. You should skip all odd numbers. Can we do that? I think this is the only difference. This is the only difference. Don't let us scatter your brain. This is it. If the number is divisible by 2 equals 0, if you divide number by 2 and the answer is equals to, let's see the number divisible by 2. Is this welcome? If number is divisible by 2, should we run it? This could be a very eye-slapping error. Wow, it didn't run at all. It didn't run at all. So let's check equals to 0 or possibly remainder 1 now. If the number is divisible by 2 and remaining 1, let's see what is going to happen. Are you sure? Is it all number that is divisible by 2 that remain 1? Wow. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. He only brought out numbers that remains 1 when it's being divisible by, like, it does not work. Let us make a research on how to test if a number is odd. You understand? But for now, the divisible by even, to test the number is even, is modulo 2 equals to 0. Is this number divisible by 2 without having a remainder? This is it. Are you getting it now? So you can actually continue printing the odd number. Do you get it now? The odd number while the even number is not going to be available. Now I have something for you before you go. I have something for you. And this is what I have for you. It's part of the work I've done before. This. Okay, do you understand this now? Number equals to 1. One number is less than equals to 5, print number. Number equals to 1 plus. Number equals to number plus 1, print finish. Do you know what this is going to do? Do you know what this is going to do? Eh? Ebuka? Ebuka, are you still with me? Do you know what this is going to do? It's going to print 1 to 5. When it gets to the last number, it's going to print finish. That is done. That's what it means. That's number 1. And number 2, I have 2 Okay, this is not where I'm supposed to take it from. Number two, this program is going to keep running unlimitedly. While 1 equals to 1, print in the loop. Do you know what it means? As far as this this statement is true, it will it will keep it will keep printing the next line till infinity. Are you seeing that? As far as 1 equals to 1, 1 is truly equals to 1. Or we can say, look at this. We can say count equals to what? Equals to 1. So while count, which is 1, is equals to what? 1. Print, I will loop till infinity. I will loop till infinity. Now, this was a kind of program I wrote one time to blow off a friend's system. I destroyed the system by blowing it off. I wrote this program in the notepad and I saved it at .bat, and the friend clicked it and his system continued to run this program and the system crashed. So this is the kind of program you can write if you are a hacker, if you are a something that you can use it to destroy somebody's system or your own system if you are being traced and you are not there. Let's run this program. We are going to run this program. We are going to stop it. I've forgotten that I know the code to stop a program. So while loop, then okay. The program is still up there. Sorry, no, I'm running this while loop instead of running this. So I'm going to rerun it. So I'm going to be Python space while cw2.py. Yay! Look at my bar. See how my bar is going. See how my bar is going. My system is hanging. My system is hanging. Wow. I've stopped it, thank God. Thank God I've stopped it. My system started hanging. I'm coming, Mr. Vincent. See. No, that is not what is happening to you. If you can't run any program, that's another error. What is happening? Chisom at all. Why? Mr. Ebuka, I'm sending this program to you. Please, I'm begging in God's name, run this program. Run it on your system. Run that program on your system. Please. Run the program on your system. It's not only my system that will hang. You too, your system must hang. Once you are tired, just press Ctrl C. It will loop. It will go out of the loop. So I'm through with the class for today. That is all for the class for today. I want to attend to Mr. Chisom and see what his problem is. But before we see what his problem is, I'm going to pick one program and paste it inside the comment section. Maybe count 1 to 100, yes, and let him run this. Okay, so I'll paste this into the chat box. It works. If your voice starts scrambling, you better stop it. So Mr. Chisom, Mr. Chisom, pick this um the program inside the chat box. Let's work it on your system and let's see if it's going to work. So this is the end of the class. We're going to be troubleshooting from here. Thank you all guys for sitting with me through this intermediate Python class, and I'm happy that you are doing better, you are doing well in this program, and you are growing better with me. And I know we are going to be building softwares, we're going to be building our own things by the end of this class. Thank you so much and see you in next class. Have a nice night. Thank you.